Hi everyone, dear students. Today let us know about menstrual cycle. Reproductive cycles in female mammals are what the concern for this topic. So that means the female mammals have some reproductive cycle. What are the two types of reproductive cycle? Let us say one is the menstrual cycle and the another is estrus cycle. Now let us first know about the differences between these two. Menstrual cycle, if you take up menstrual cycle, it is seen in primates like monkeys, apes and human beings. So primate is one order of the mammals in which monkeys, apes, gorillas and humans come. So in this particular order, the female animals show menstrual cycle, whereas the other non-primate mammals like cows, cats and dogs, they show estrus cycle. Okay, they show estrus cycle. That's also a reproductive cycle. Now during the menstrual cycle, the primates, they experience bleeding. There will be a discharge of blood and dead endometrial tissue through the vagina. So that is called as bleeding or menses. So that is seen in the menstrual cycle. But in estrus cycle, there is no bleeding as such. Clear? In case of menstrual cycle, what happens is the endometrium breaks up and it is shed out along with the blood, because the blood vessels are also broken. So blood and the pieces of dead endometrium are sent out as the menses. So we say that endometrium is shed out. But in case of estrus cycle, the endometrium is resorbed, that is, the tissue is absorbed by the body of the female. So within the uterus, the dead tissue is attacked by the white blood cells and it is destroyed and it is reabsorbed. It is broken and reabsorbed by the body. It is not allowed to go out. Menstrual cycle lasts for 28 to 29 days. One menstrual cycle is of 28 to 29 days and cyclically it will be repeating during the reproductive phase of the human female and some other primates also. Okay. And usually in humans we see that there is a beginning of the menstrual cycle, we call it as the menarche, and the end of the menarche takes place around say 12 to 15 years of age. During that time, the girl, when becomes adult or attains a puberty, we see that this menstrual cycle begins. So it's called as menarche, and it ends at the later age of 45 to 55, when once for all this menstrual cycle will be stopping. That is called as the menopause. So there is a period during which the phase of the life, reproductive phase of the life, when we see that menstrual cycle is taking place. But in case of the animals showing estrus, once they become mature, attain the puberty, till their death, estrus cycle will be continuing. Okay, so that's another difference. Duration in case of estrus cycle, like cow, if you take up, it is 12 to 24 days long. In different breeds of the cattle, the days may vary. So 12 to 24 days long. And further, if you look at the other points, menstrual cycle is divided into 4 phases. That is menstruation, follicular phase, ovulatory phase and secretory phase. There are 4 phases in the menstrual cycle. Whereas in estrous cycle only 2 phases. One is estrus and another is anestrus. So there is a gap between 2 estrus periods, that is called as anestrus. Okay. Now the sexually active animals, in case of the humans, the animals are sexually active, the humans are sexually active, or the primates are sexually active all the time, that is throughout their reproductive life. But in case of estrus, there is some variation. The animals showing estrus, they will be sexually active only during the estrus period, which is also called as heat period. Okay, when they have very high receptivity, they are aggressive at having the sexual intercourse. So that is a time when the estrus showing animals like cows, cattle, dogs and all other non-primate mammals will be breeding. And further, let me give you some little more information about the estrus. The animals can also be divided into monoestrus and polyestrus. Monoestrus are those animals which have only one estrus period in 1 year's time. Per year, 1 estrus period. Like for example, dogs. They breed once in the whole year, and during that, it's also called a seasonal breeding. During that breeding season, they have the estrus period, and at that time only they will have the sexual urge and they are sexually active and they reproduce. In the remaining months of the year, they are sexually inactive. There are some animals which are polyestrus. For example, horse and cat, etc. They have many estrus periods in a period of 1 year. In certain period of 1 year, they have many estrus periods interspaced by anestrus. So they are called as polyestrus animals. Okay. Now let us take up menstrual cycle in humans. Okay guys, let us now take up the menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle in humans, which can be better understood with the help of a graphic diagram which I have made here. Let us go to this diagram now. Okay. Now one thing we have to remember is that the menstrual cycle is the cyclic or regular changes that are taking place in the ovary and in the uterus of a adult human female or adult female primate. Okay, so that means this menstrual cycle will show us the changes in the ovary and changes in the uterus also. Now, in this diagram, what is shown here at the top, these are the changes in the ovary, and down here the changes in the endometrium, that is the inner wall of the uterus. Menstrual cycle, as we have noted there, is divided into conveniently 4 different phases: menstruation, then ovulation, then follicular phase and secretory phase. Clear? Now let's see what happens in each of these phases. When the female human being, a girl, becomes mature, attains the puberty, okay, the menstrual cycle begins. So first part of it is the changes taking place in the ovary. We know that by the time of puberty, a human female will have around 60,000 to 80,000 primary follicles. Out of them, a few only will be ovulating or reaching the Graafian follicle stage and then releasing the oocyte or egg. That is about 400 throughout the reproductive phase of a woman. Okay. Remaining all are gradually degenerating. Among the primary follicles, the dominant one will enter into the follicular phase or the growth and development of the follicles. Now we see that here primary follicle has become secondary follicle by acquiring more number of the granulosa layers around, and then it is changing into the antral follicle, from secondary follicle to antral follicle, that is tertiary follicle. In the primary and secondary follicle, the oocyte will be in primary oocyte stage. When it comes to the antral follicle or tertiary follicle, what happens is this primary oocyte divides by first meiotic division, producing the secondary oocyte and a polar body. We'll know about it in much detail when we take up the oogenesis. Okay. So here in the ovary, the follicles are growing. At the same time, what is happening? Let us see in the menstruation phase. We see here that there is a time when day 1 to day 5, or in some cases day 1 to day 7, there will be a bleeding period, and that's what called as menstruation phase. So menses is taking place. Menses means what? The dead endometrial tissue and the blood will be discharged out through the vagina. So that is usually lasting for 3 to 5 days, or it may in some case continue up to 7 days. So that's what called as the menses. Okay, and this phase generally we take from day 1 to day 5 is menstruation phase. Therefore it is called as menstruation phase. Menstruation phase. Okay, now let's see what happens next. The next phase, as we highlighted already, is the follicular phase, that begins from the day 6 of the menstrual cycle and continues up to day 14 tentatively. Okay, day 5, after day 5, that is day 6 to day 14, and it is called as the follicular phase because during this time the follicles will grow and attain the Graafian follicular stage. Okay, according to medical science, from day 1 to day 14 it is taken as follicular phase only, and menstruation or menstrual phase is a part of it. Okay, but for our conveniency we divide it into menstruation phase and follicular phase. Follicular phase is also known as proliferative phase. Okay, now what is happening in the uterus? Let us say in the uterus, the thin endometrium is becoming thicker and thicker. As we see here, more and more tissue grows and develops, and the thickness of the endometrium increases. So from thin to thick it has become, and that is how the endometrium gets ready for implantation of embryo in order to bring about the pregnancy. So that's the purpose why this proliferation of the endometrium takes place, the inner wall of the uterus. It's also called as proliferation. Therefore, proliferative phase also is another name for this follicular phase. And at the same time, we see that the follicles in the ovary reach up to the Graafian follicle stage, and on 14th day there will be ovulation. That is called as ovulatory phase, when the secondary oocyte is released from the ovary, and that is what called as ovulation. And this ovulation period may slightly differ. It may occur on 12th day or on 16th day. That is, the range is from 12th to 16th day, and that is what taken as the ovulatory phase. But in more accurate menstrual cycles, where every menstrual cycle is lasting for 28 days only, ovulation is usually taking place on the mid-cycle day, that is on the 14th day. Now next, after the ovulation, the remaining phase is called as secretory phase, that is up to 28 days. We can say from 15 to 28 days it is the secretory phase, or it is also known as luteal phase. So what happens during the luteal phase or the secretory phase, let us see, and also know why it is called as the secretory phase and luteal phase. It's called as the secretory phase because during this phase, what we see is the mucus glands, as we see here, mucus glands in the endometrium they further becomes enlarged, and they start producing large amount of the mucus and fluid. So that's why it is called as secretory phase. And the other changes what you see in the endometrium, you see there that the arteries undergo coiling. For example, you can see here arteries undergo coiling and more number of blood vessels are growing. Even the blue colored ones what I have drawn here, these are the veins. So veins also will be growing in the endometrial tissue. And a little additional information let me give you here. What you see, these structures in the veins, they are called as venous islands, or we can say venous lakes, where the veins enlarge and form a lake-like structure filled with the blood inside. So these changes take place, and now the endometrium is actually fully grown and ready for implantation or the conception, that is the pregnancy. Okay. Now what happens? Let us see further. From 14 onward, up to first 7 days, actually the endometrium will be waiting for the early embryo to come and get implanted, attachment of embryo. If there is no fertilization, no embryo is formed, no pregnancy, then what happens is, after the 21st day, okay, the endometrium slowly start breaking up, and between 26 to 28 days, as you see here, the endometrium shows breakage and falling apart of the tissue. Clear? So that is the preparation for menstruation in the next menstrual cycle. Okay? The endometrium started breaking up now. Even the blood vessels start breaking up. And all this broken endometrial tissue and the blood will be lost as menses in the next menstrual cycle for first 5 days during menstruation phase. Okay, that's what the changes you are seeing here in the endometrium. And similarly, let's know the changes in the secretory phase or luteal phase. What changes are taking place in the ovary? We already noted that on 14th ovulation has taken place, and after that the corpus luteum will be developing. The remaining part of the ovulated Graafian follicle is converted into an endocrine gland called as corpus luteum, yellow body, that starts producing progesterone that is essential for maintaining the pregnancy. We'll look into the hormonal regulation later on. And if the fertilization is not taking place, no pregnancy, then the same corpus luteum shrinks to form corpus albicans. And that happens between 26th to 28th day of the menstrual cycle. Okay, when the secretion of the progesterone from the corpus luteum also stops and the endometrium starts breaking up. Now in this diagram here, slightly enlarged part I have shown, where you can see the very well developed mucus glands, then coiled arteries, veins of the endometrium, and even the venous legs. Okay, so that is the internal structure of the endometrium. So the menstrual cycle comes to an end on 28th day. So what is the duration of menstrual cycle? It's about 28 days or 29 days in some cases. Okay, now let us summarize the things about the menstrual cycle, what we have learned till now. Menstrual cycle is the regular natural changes that occur in the uterus and ovary of an adult human female. Okay. Duration, about duration, it's of 28 to 29 days duration and keeps repeating every month from puberty till the end of reproductive phase of a woman. It is absent when this menstrual cycle is absent. It is absent during the pregnancy and also during the first 6 months of lactation, that is breastfeeding, when mother is feeding the breast milk for the child. At that time also for 6 months menstrual cycle will not be taking place. Then beginning of menstrual cycle is called as menarche, and its cessation, that is stopping forever, is known as menopause. Menarche occurs when the girl is about 12 to 14 years old. Okay, and menopause occurs at the age of 45 to 55. Then what is the purpose of menstrual cycle? Purpose of menstrual cycle is to produce egg or oocytes, that is usually 1 per month, rarely 2, and to facilitate pregnancy. Okay, then menstrual cycle has 4 phases: menstruation phase, follicular or proliferative phase, then ovulatory phase and secretory phase or luteal phase. So these are the 4 phases of menstrual cycle. Then day 1 to day 5 of the menstrual cycle is menstruation phase, when there is a bleeding as the broken endometrium and blood is shed out through the vagina. Okay. Then the bleeding is known as what? Menses. And usually about 30 to 130 ml blood will be lost during the menses. Let's take up the remaining points. Next, for day 6 to day 14, that is from day 6 to day 14, this period is what is known as follicular phase, when the ovarian follicles in the ovary are growing and reaching the Graafian follicle stage. Okay. In uterus, what are the changes taking place during the follicular phase? The endometrium gradually becomes thicker and thicker and ready to initiate pregnancy. Okay, ready for implantation. So therefore there is a proliferation of the tissue in the endometrium, which is also called as hypertrophy and hyperplasia of the endometrium, that is taking place. So that is why it is called as proliferative phase. Then usually on day 14, Graafian follicle ruptures, releasing the oocyte. It's known as ovulation, as we have studied. And that ovulatory phase may range from day 12th to day 16th of the menstrual cycle. Then ovulatory phase actually separates follicular phase from secretory phase. The next point, let's take up. Now, the secretory phase, which begins after ovulation and ends by the 28th day. So generally we take from 15 to 28 days as the secretory phase. And what is happening during this time? During this time, endometrial glands become larger and secrete large amount of mucus and watery fluid, and then ovulated follicle will change into corpus luteum, which will start producing one hormone called as progesterone, right? And if there is no fertilization, no implantation, what happens? Corpus luteum shrinks to form corpus albicans. That happens between day 26 to day 28. Then progesterone is withdrawn, that is the progesterone hormone which was being released stops. And then the endometrial lining begins to break. Coiled arteries constrict, reducing the blood supply to the endometrium. Then in the next menstrual cycle, the tissue of broken endometrium and blood flow out as the menses. That is for first 3 to 5 days of the menstrual cycle, in some case up to 7 days. During luteal or secretory phase, if implantation occurs, that is when pregnancy takes place, so what happens is the corpus luteum will be maintained throughout the pregnancy, because progesterone is needed to maintain the pregnancy. So with this, we conclude the discussion on menstrual cycle. In our next session, I will take up the hormonal regulation of the menstrual cycle. Till then, bye bye.